Ryu, if the Gate of Darkness is opened, the tribe from the Dark World will cause chaos. That'll be the end of all mankind. Listen! They're coming again. And there's quite a few of them. I'll stay here and hold them off. Ryu, you get going. You're wounded. I can't leave you alone. Don't worry about me. Go! You're the only one who can stop their evil plan now. Now move! I'll go. Robert. Don't forget to save the girl while you're at it. Go. Get going! Good luck. Okay, you freaks. Come and get it! You're gonna dream your worst nightmare. No one ever gets past old Jungle Rat Rob. That is a strange nickname. Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Ninja Gaiden 2 Dark Sword of Chaos. In the last part, we defeated Ashtar, and suddenly there's something else to do because you have to get to the altar. And stage 7 is the last stage in the game, and it's also the hardest as you would predict. However, honestly, in comparison to the final stage from Ninja Gaiden 1, I do think it's easier. They use a bit more with the platforming, I will admit to that, and there's still a Ninpo boost in this stage. But comparatively, I think this is an easier stage. I can't exactly tell what it is. Maybe it's lower amounts of bottomless pits on the long hand, maybe it's better enemy placement, less enemies. I can't exactly tell, but it definitely, it either feels easier or just is. Also, I love this song, although this background is disgusting. There's the Ninpo boost for this stage, and if you've gotten them all, you should have a maximum of 100. Now, in between parts, I actually ended up watching that 10-minute Ninja Gaiden 2 speedrun that I was talking about at the end of the last part. And for the most part, it was what I've expected. Optimized movements and all that. Using the shadow clones in the sub-weapons at the right time, all that kind of jazz. But they use the corner clips a lot more than I thought they would. There's a lot of places where they can just clip the objects at the top of the screen, and I'm actually kind of interested in how they do that so reliably. But also, an interesting thing is that there's a bit of a faster way to climb walls. If you cling to a wall, and it looks like you jump off in the opposite direction while swinging your sword and then go immediately back, you actually do climb faster than if you were to climb normally. There's probably times where it's more work to actually climb and all that, but that's cool. Also, hey, extra life. So, this is the end of the road, huh? It's dark. Everything's getting cloudy. Ryu, get him. For me. Okay, 7-2, this is actually the last section of stage, and it's potentially the hardest, but even then I still think it's easier than anything Ninja Gaiden 1. Again, though, that might just be due to my own experience. Now, seeing that cutscene there reminds me to talk about that Ninja Gaiden 2 is actually a pretty mature game for the time, given like the amount of guns and blood we see in this game compared to some others on the system. That's pretty ballsy. Notable, though, this is also the game that I think had the most censorship changes added to the Super Nintendo Trilogy version. Like, I think a lot of the blood was turned green, and there's one graphic I know was definitely changed during the final boss fight. Now, one thing I've actually never attempted to do in this game is I think what's considered a low percent run, if I was reading what the speedrun stuff was saying correctly, which is essentially either getting none or very few of the Ninpo boosts. Because honestly, I just don't have the time for that. But it's also because I actually like feeling powerful thanks to the Ninpo stuff, so ignoring it like that just feels wrong to me. I believe you can do a corner boost there, by the way, just to skip through that wall, and it makes that section a little less dangerous. But yeah, the fact you can do those little wraparound jumps like that is, I think, one of the main reasons Ninja Gaiden 2 ends up being easier in the long run. Since in Ninja Gaiden 1, if you caught yourself on a wall at the last second before falling into a pit, that was it. In Ninja Gaiden 2, you can at least climb the wall and actually get yourself out of that, which is a really helpful survivability option. I can tell you, especially during my early years playing the game, that happened a lot. Also, I very late mentioned this, but in terms of how I first was introduced to Ninja Gaiden 2, it was essentially the exact same thing as Ninja Gaiden 1. After playing one of the first, one of the 3D ones, again, I think it was Sigma 2, I played one and there's this. What's this place? Irene! Ryu, watch out! It's him. Who? It's been a long time, Ryu Hayabusa. Who's there? You... Jakio! You're alive? One can never destroy the power of evil. The spirit released after our battle flowed into my body. I am reborn, and I've got the dark power of evil. The spirit you defeated before was nothing more than a pawn. Your battle served only to awaken the ancient true spirits of evil. The Sword of Chaos simply sucks up your life force, and when the sword awakens, the gate of darkness shall be thrown open, and the demon shall come back to life. What are you going to do with Irene? Her life force shall be used to call up the demons. You shall awaken them. She shall call them back to Earth. You should be proud. You two shall make the beginning of a new age. The age of eternal darkness. Are you finished? I've had enough of your speeches. And I've had enough of you! Then fight, Ninja Dragon, the last of your clan. Now we shall decide whether light or darkness is to be the true master. So yeah, Jakio's back, and his boss fight's almost exactly the same as it was in Ninja Gaiden 1, except he flies more of a U-shaped infinity pattern. He fires 3 fires, which are a lot slower than they were in Ninja Gaiden. I know 4 fires are a lot slower than they were in Ninja Gaiden 1. Best strategy? Pick a corner, use either the down spark or the fire ring. Sub-weapons really decimate this guy, compared to, like, say, Ashtar. But yeah, I don't like the fact Jakio's back. It makes no sense, even if they gave the reason of using the final boss of the last game as a weird spirit to bring him back. Honestly, they should have just kept Ashtar throughout the game. Irene. Ryu. Are you alright, Irene? We've got to destroy this altar. Ryu! The sword. The sword has been awakened by the blood of Jakio. Ryu! Irene. Ryu. Irene! You? Okay, so now Jakia's mutated. Phase 2 here, you have to just attack the head. The head will occasionally try to aim a little ball at you, which can do some decent damage, but the main threat here is actually the drops from the ceiling. Notable though, if you die to any of the 3 bosses we're going through here, you're sent back to the beginning of 7-2, not the beginning of the stage like in Ninja Gaiden 1. Is this finally the end of it all? How do I fight such an enemy? Father, Sword of the Dragon Clan, give me strength. Demon, you're mine. Taste the true power of the Dragon Sword. Third and final phase is actually almost the exact same as the final boss from Ninja Gaiden 1. He'll try to fire his arms at you, which can do some decent damage to you if you're not avoiding them quickly. His head can throw shit at you, but once you destroy the head, which is what you need to do in order to access the core, you just need to attack the core. And at this point, the body just randomly throws out little waves of energy like in Ninja Gaiden 1. Shadow clones and sub-weapons make this easier, obviously, but I don't really have access to the second one. So, swords away. And that's game. Irene. Irene! Irene, I'm so sorry. My clan, defeating the demons, none of that matters. Now that you're gone. The sword! The dragon sword. What the? Irene? Ryu? Oh, Ryu! It's a miracle! Irene. Ryu, what happened to me? I feel like I've been dreaming for a long time. It's alright. It's over. It's all over, Irene. The darkness is gone. Oh, Ryu, then it's true. The part about you and I, isn't it? Yes, Irene. Look, can you believe how beautiful our world is, Irene? And it'll stay like this, forever. And that's Ninja Gaiden 2 Dark Sword of Chaos, my favorite out of the original NES trilogy. Well, I think Ninja Gaiden 1 is a better written storyline because seriously, the Chikio shit at the end of this game is just horrible, as is really a lot of the storytelling in this game. Before you meet Robert, there's no reason for the first stage to happen, and there are a couple of cutscenes that just don't really have any point aside from going, ah! But disregarding the story, as a game, I think Ninja Gaiden 2 excels where Ninja Gaiden 1 didn't. Not only does it have a better difficulty curve because it doesn't randomly spike up at 2 specific points, it's a fairly consistent curve throughout. 7-2 is probably the only point where it really kind of jumps. I think the shadow clones make for an interesting gameplay element, as well as the added ninpo boosts just to make you look out a bit more for the stages and actually want to try and actually grab as many items as you can in hopes of getting one of them. And I think the extra sub-weapons and mechanics like wall climb make the game just a lot more playable than Ninja Gaiden 1 in a lot of ways. It's a shame the story had to take a hit, but honestly, this is the Ninja Gaiden game I go back to the most due to those extra gameplay elements. The bosses, I think, could have used a bit more to them, because if you have shadow clones and sub-weapons, they don't really stand a chance against you, aside from maybe Jakio Form 2 and 3. But on the long run, this game is just great. One thing I forgot to mention, though, when it comes to the Jakio fights, I mentioned that if you died on one of them, you're sent back to 7-2's beginning. But one thing I forgot to mention is that if I recall correctly, like Ninja Gaiden 1, the bosses you've defeated stay dead as long as you don't get a game over. So, a lot of good stuff there. Also, this game's soundtrack is amazing, but I don't think it's as memorable as Ninja Gaiden 1. And that's probably just because Ninja Gaiden 1 is such a big game in history for the action platformer genre, especially on the NES. In terms of what's next up for Ninja Gaiden, it should be obvious. We're going to Ninja Gaiden 3, though I'm tempted to do the Master System / Game Gear, I think it was also on game eventually. Because that game is okay, even though its storyline is somehow absolute bonkers, even compared to Ninja Gaiden 3. But as for what's up next, again, my stuff's rather impromptu, so I'll probably figure it out. It'll be something. I can tell. I'm gonna take a look at my list and see if I can actually choose something right now. Let's see what we got here. That could work. But on the whole, Ninja Gaiden 2, very good game. I recommend it. If you want to play it, it is on the NES, the Super Nintendo through the Trilogy. I think it was on a couple of DOS-based PCs and the Amiga as well. It was on the Virtual Console, but by the time this goes up, I think you can. The Virtual Console's probably shut down by the time this goes up. I know you can no longer add funds to it, but I think it'll just be dead by the time this gets uploaded, which is kind of sad. But I do, on the whole, very much recommend this game. But with that, I'm going to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next Let's Play, whatever that may be. See you guys then.